Hi. This is Mark Struthers, and today our discussion will focus on the cost of a repeat examination in medical imaging in 2025. It is important to note that non-diagnostic medical images can compromise patient care and treatment plans. This in turn impacts upon patient care. To begin our discussion, we must review image acquisition and interpretation to determine a course of action to decrease repeat exam rates. How has imaging processing changed? Let us take a look at film images, which were traditionally photographically processed for about 200 years as opposed to digital images used in medical imaging today. Here we see a radiographer and a radiologist reviewing film radiographs on X-ray view boxes. At times the darker areas of the images were viewed using an intense light source called a quote-unquote hot light. Did you ever wonder where the term "wet read" came from? Well, it is derived from diagnosing radiographic films prior to them being fully processed for the radiologist's interpretation. They were still wet from the wash of the chemicals used in processing. Many times when films were needed in surgery or the emergency room, technologists would overexpose the images so that they could be quote-unquote site-developed. This process required the technologist to overexpose the patient and anyone near the primary beam so that the film image would develop faster than through normal processing. The technologist in the darkroom would then put the overexposed and undeveloped film into the developer. It would create an image much faster than a properly exposed image. The darkroom technologist would process these films by sight, and as soon as they felt the images were good enough to use, put them into the fixer from the developer to stop the image from further development. Working in the darkroom was often boring, and technologists were exposed to processing chemical fumes, often in an unventilated darkroom. The first effort at creating digital image for X-ray was called computed radiography. An image receptor plate is exposed and then processed for image creation. The data scanned from that plate could be manipulated by the technologist prior to the radiologists analyzing the image for interpretation. Post-processed images created by the technologist are the quote-unquote original image the radiologist views for analysis and interpretation. Technologists changing the original captured image often led to radiologists demanding that the technologists not post-process the image because they might create an undiagnostic image from properly acquired image data. The advantage of computed radiography was that it was a less costly transition from film screen imaging to digital imaging. Direct capture and indirect capture. Once an image exposure is captured in direct digital radiography, the imaging processing is basically the same whether the capture was direct or indirect. Except for variances in processing that are dependent on the manufacturer's proprietary processing algorithms and technology. Each quote-unquote pixel in the receptor matrix has a fixed size and location. The energy from the exposure is captured at a specific pixel location on the image receptor matrix and creates data which can be mapped precisely to create digital images. It is this energy or data that is used to create the digital image through lookup tables. This data can be used to make one or many images using computer algorithms for the image requested for creation. Here we see how data is captured, mapped, and displayed in a digital image. Film screen image processing had a completely different set of image processing characteristics than today's digital imaging processing techniques. The remedies for correcting poor quality in film screen images was basically to repeat them. Radiologists and physicians reviewing the images are interested in display factors of spatial resolution, detail, and image contrast with minimal noise and no artifacts. In film screen imaging processing, the developed image could not be post-processed or altered. What was on the X-ray view box was what you had and could not be changed. Today, digital images can be captured, stored, and displayed in many ways. The first effort at creating digital image for X-ray was called computed radiography. An image receptor plate is exposed and then processed for image creation. The data scanned from that plate could be manipulated by the technologist prior to the radiologist analyzing the image for interpretation. This often led to radiologists demanding that the technologists not post-process the image because they could create an undiagnostic image from properly acquired image data. The acceptance of poor-quality medical images for interpreter purchase substantial financial and operational challenges for hospital enterprises. By addressing the factors contributing to non-diagnostic images and implementing stringent quality control measures, hospitals can reduce these costs and improve patient care outcomes. Investing in advanced imaging technology, training staff, and optimizing imaging protocols are essential steps in mitigating the impact of poor quality images on healthcare systems. While the percentage of non-diagnostic medical images generated by digital imaging modalities can vary, it is estimated that around 10 to 15% of digital medical images may be considered non-diagnostic. Of these, about 5% cannot be eliminated because they cannot be corrected by the radiographer acquiring the images or the radiologist who interprets the images. This does mean that about 10% of all repeat exams could be addressed as a goal to eliminate. In a study to determine the accuracy of interpretations, it was determined that artificial intelligence demonstrated an accuracy rate of 92%, correctly identifying into describing abnormalities with remarkable precision, while radiologists showed a collective accuracy rate of 89%. While the human interpretations were generally thorough, there were some discrepancies in identifying subtle abnormalities and in the consistency of conclusions. Variability and experience and specialization accounted for some of these differences. Therefore, the primary target to decrease image repeat rates would be enhancing the knowledge and skill sets of the technologists acquiring the images. Enhancing technical skill sets and knowledge base to reduce repeat exam rates in medical imaging. Improving the technical skill set and knowledge base of radiographers plays a pivotal role in reducing repeat exam rates in medical imaging. Repeat exams not only pose challenges to healthcare efficiency but also expose patients to unnecessary radiation and inconvenience. Addressing the issue begins with empowering radiographers through professional development and advanced training. Firstly, when radiographers are equipped with comprehensive technical skills, they can operate complex imaging equipment with greater precision. Advanced training ensures that they understand the subtleties of various modalities like CT, MRI, and X-rays, enabling them to tailor imaging protocols to each patient's needs effectively. This accuracy minimizes the likelihood of errors such as suboptimal positioning or incorrect parameter settings that often necessitate retakes. Secondly, a solid knowledge base empowers radiographers to make informed decisions during imaging procedures. A deeper understanding of anatomy, pathology, and the interplay between imaging techniques allows radiographers to anticipate challenges and adapt accordingly. For example, knowledge of patient-specific factors such as body habitus or pre-existing conditions can help them adjust settings to ensure high-quality images on the first attempt. Moreover, fostering a culture of continuous learning ensures radiographers stay updated on technological advancements and best practices. With the latest skills and knowledge at their disposal, radiographers can utilize innovative solutions to reduce artifacts, enhance image clarity, and improve diagnostic accuracy, all contributing to lower repeat exam rates. Additionally, improving communication skills as part of radiographer training can have an indirect yet significant impact. Clear and empathetic communication with patients reduces movement during scans, enhances patient cooperation, and ultimately results in higher quality imaging. Estimating the exact financial impact of non-diagnostic medical images requires detailed analysis of hospital data, including the frequency of repeated imaging procedures, the cost per imaging session, radiologist salaries, and patient outcomes. If 10 to 15% of images are non-diagnostic and each repeated imaging session costs approximately $200, the additional cost can be significant for large hospital enterprises. The impact on radiographers, radiologists, patients, and the hospital enterprise caused by repeat medical imaging exams must be calculated to determine whether reducing the repeat rate will be of benefit. I want to thank you once again for your time and attention. I also appreciate your subscribing to and liking the content of this YouTube channel. The feedback keeps me motivated to create new content. If you have not looked at this channel before, the focus and emphasis of the videos presented is for medical imaging professionals and those interested in what the technical aspects of medical imaging are. Again, thank you. Mark Struthers, BBA, BSRT, RRT, R, MR, CIIP.